So yesterday I released the story of Jasmine Mooney before it hit the public. I found her mom's Facebook post and corroborated it and put the news out on the channel before it was public news. And now it's public news. We'll revisit a little bit on what ABC 10 had with her interview. And I really hope that we can put pressure together to bring Jessica home. But this is part of an ongoing deterioration of the human rights situation in the United States. And this is why I don't think it's safe to visit the United States anymore. It absolutely isn't. It's not a matter of conjecture. It's a matter of absolute fact when you look at the evidence that's presented before us. Sure, a lot of you will go to America and not have these things happen. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying that for a lot of you, and it seems like minority groups, absolutely, but in some cases, all you have to do is be a woman. It seems like women are being targeted a lot, and young women that clearly aren't criminals. Beautiful young women who are successful and out and doing things in the world. The next thing they know, they're into the clutches of the Gestapo ICE. Let's talk about it all right now on the Bad News Show. Let's go. There it is. This is Bad News. My God. Falling out right now. Anything could happen. Get on! Wow. I'll watch the video later. They try mopping this. Joe, we only care. Be Weather Dude YouTube channel here in Wells, BC, 3,153 feet above sea level. Yes, friends, yes. The revolution is coming. The resistance is almost here. And I'm up in the mountains right now speaking to that resistance. That's right. You are tuned in to Resistance Radio. Joey Only. Yes. I was going to make weather forecast talk today, and then I just saw how crappy everyone's attitudes were on interior weather and wilderness watchers, and I thought, I don't fucking owe you people a weather forecast. You want to be nice? Maybe I'll reconsider later today. Well, we do have the show tonight on the channel. Actually, if you want to tune in, we have an American TV meteorologist from Pasco, Washington, who's going to be on the show tonight with us here on the channel at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, of course, that's live streaming. And then we'll have meteorologist Mark will conduct the interview because they know each other already ahead of time. So that's why would I conduct an interview with a guy I'd never met when I could sit back and smoke bong hits off camera and be like, wow, this show I put together, look, I made a show. I don't have to do anything anymore. No, it's not exactly like that. Going to be a great show. Going to be a great episode. You've never seen a weather show like the Meteorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals meteorology. Anyways, let's get to the bad news now. Before we talk about our friend Jasmine, wonderful young lady who we want to bring back to Canada safe, we have this posting here from my friend Paulo Rivera. I used to work with Paulo in the downtown east side. In fact, we both worked at the Woodwards building, the social housing center, right? So there was a social housing complex going on there, supportive housing, you might call it, right? Where we had a nurse that came in the building and we would help people with the rooms and help people with their medications and whatnot. And yeah. You get the idea. So Trump's now putting restrictions on visitors from Canada. If you stay more than 30 days, there's new paperwork plus that they want, and they want your fingerprints. I'm not sure if the fingerprint thing was redacted or not, so retracted. I'm waiting to find that out. But don't be surprised. This is not normal, Paulo says. And no, of course it's not. This is the escalating campaign to demonize Canadians and set us up for annexation. Cancel your trip down south, guys. Yes, U.S. hardens rules for Canadian citizens. What do we see here? I can't read the small print. Aliens admitted as non-immigrant aliens into the... okay, well, I can't read that. But now some people are saying that this is false, that it was taken down from the Alice Independent School District. I'm going to suggest to you it's not false. That the reason it's gone missing isn't because it's not real. It's because it's untenable and it's disturbing and disgusting. Now, this is over a month ago, but this is Dr. Anicio Trevino, the superintendent of schools, who's saying down in Texas, we want to bring your attention to an important matter regarding student travel for extracurricular activities, including sports, band, and other co-curricular events. We have received information that U.S. Border Patrol agents may be boarding school buses at highway checkpoints in and out of the valley to question students about their citizenship status. And you say, "Oh, Joey, you're being a little bit out of control here." Like, no, this is the same government that had children in cages. that they were going to deport, okay? They didn't respect mothers and children. They separated mothers and children and put children in little handcuffs and cages. This is what the Trump government did last time they were in power. So we strongly encourage families to be aware of the potential implications of these encounters. If a student is to be found without proper documentation, they will be removed from the bus, detained, and possibly deported under current immigration policies. Oh my God, these are children. Additionally, if a student provides false information regarding their citizenship, if a fucking child provides false information and it's later discovered, this could be a permanent bar to future U.S. citizenship. A child. So 6-year-old, like you expect a 6-year-old to give you 100% accurate statement on their immigration and citizenship status? To ensure that families are fully informed, we are reviewing our student travel waivers and may include language advising parents of this possibility. Furthermore, we're considering additional measures such as having designated chaperone vehicles travel with school buses. And you think I'm making this up? I'm not making this up. This stuff, I mean, we have examples already of it where a Republican school teacher called in ICE to remove a student from the school and then instantly regretted it. That was fairly fresh into this Trump presidency. But my friend Carrie Johnson here in town told me that a friend of hers in Quebec, it was either her friend or her neighbor or her friend's neighbor or her neighbor when Carrie was living in Quebec. It was something like that. Their kid went on a school trip. And it was a person of color, this child, and they went on a school trip and they crossed the U.S. border. And at the U.S. border, they said they wanted to separate this child, the child of color. And then everyone in the bus said no. They stood up and said, we're not letting this happen. And the entire school trip was canceled. They went back to Canada. The children showed solidarity. An injury to one is an injury to all, and they didn't allow this to happen. They didn't say, well, we'll let you take her off the bus and we'll just keep continuing on. No. In the event that a student is detained, a school administrator in the chaperone vehicle would have to be able to stay with the student while the rest of the group continues their journey. So they got to bring a second vehicle, a designated chaperone vehicle, to travel along with school buses just in case a student is ripped off by the fucking Gestapo from the bus. Okay, is this what you want for Canada? You want to do away with our borders and have these kinds of people into our country running this kind of immigration policy, this kind of attack on children? This information may be concerning, it says. What do you mean, may be concerning? Holy fucking understatement of the year there, buddy. We are committed to supporting our students and families through these changes. My God, if you have any questions, would like to discuss this matter, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So finally, let's get back to our story of our friend Jasmine. I mean, she's not my friend personally. Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't know her. But it turns out, after I'd said this yesterday, a number of my friends on my list said, actually, I know that family from the Yukon. I actually know those people. And it wasn't one person. It was a number of people said, no, I know these people. This is a legit story. So before we had it reach the public, the news, and I said that in my video yesterday that this probably would happen, that this channel 10 would be covering this story. So let's see ICE detaining Canadian woman after visa issue. Let's see what it says here. We might have to wait for a commercial. Oh my God. Spinning.
I was reapplying for my work visa, and with no warning about what was about to happen, I was taken by ICE.
A Canadian woman is fighting to get released from ICE custody in Arizona. The consultant had previously been living in Los Angeles and tried to enter the San Diego border from Mexico last week. Team 10 investigator Austin Grabish has an exclusive interview with the woman and her plea from the ICE detention center.
I got my 3-year visa and I moved here 3 months ago.
Jasmine Mooney packed up her bags to move to LA from Vancouver. The 34-year-old had been working for a company that sells health tonics.
Out in Malibu, they're selling it for $6.
Mooney stopped working for Holy Water after her TN visa got revoked. A possible issue, one product sold by the company contains hemp.
They told me I was unprofessional because I didn't have the proper letterhead on my paperwork.
Mooney says she got a new job offer in LA and went to the border last Monday. The San Ysidro port of entry is where her first visa got approved. Not this time.
I was put in a cell, and I had to sleep on a mat with no blanket, no pillow, with an aluminum foil wrapped over my body like a dead body for 2.5 days.
ICE arrested her and took her to the Otay Mesa Detention Center before moving her to Arizona.
We were up for 24 hours, wrapped in chains.
She says the conditions inside are appalling.
I can't eat the food. I've lost so much weight.
Mooney claims no one has told her how she can get out.
I have never in my life seen anything so inhumane.
Jasmine Mooney is the third foreigner I've spoken to in the past few weeks who's been sent here to this private, for-profit detention center after being denied entry at the border.
Thank you,
in
Austin.
each case, the 3 travelers were not allowed to go back to Mexico, puzzling immigration attorneys.
Typically, they'll ask the person, do you want to withdraw admission? They say yes, then they will just release them on their way.
I've found the stories about the Germans that you did, and that really got me to message you to help.
Mooney's best friend, Brittany Kors, is trying to put pressure on the Canadian government to intervene.
I just feel like there has to be more that they can do.
Global Affairs Canada told Team 10 it's aware of Mooney's case, but said the government cannot intervene on behalf of Canadian citizens with the entry and exit requirements of another country.
You can
Back
say
in Arizona,
something.
Mooney is trying to raise awareness about her fellow detainees.
There are girls, women that have been in here for weeks, for months, and have not been told anything.
Her wish to find out when she can get back to Canada. Austin Grabish, Team 10.
CBP says privacy restrictions prevent CBP from releasing details on Mooney's case, but all travelers are treated with respect.
Treated with respect. Unbelievable. I'm sorry. I got tears right now in my eyes. It's so disturbing to me. It's so disturbing. When Trump won, I literally was in horror knowing this kind of thing would happen. Okay. And I mean, sorry, I don't have much good to say about health tonics and tonic waters and other new age crap. That's fine. Nonetheless, this Jasmine Mooney seems like a very beautiful, successful, intelligent, compassionate, caring human being, caring Canadian. She doesn't seem like some criminal. She's not there to... She's being used... Yeah, it's so sad. It's so shocking. And I'm warning Canadians, you can't go down there anymore. You can't decide to go and visit or live in the United States and expect that this can't happen to you. So every single guard that sees me is like, what are you doing here? I don't understand. You're a Canadian. How are you here? Jasmine says. She's appalled by the conditions, Jasmine says. I've never seen anything so inhumane. She previously was working for a health tonic beverage company. It's just too... Anyways, she's the co-founder of Holy Water brand. U.S. border officer at Vancouver Airport in Canada revoked her first visa when she was visiting home. They told me I was unprofessional because I didn't have a proper letterhead on my paperwork. The fucking bastards. Mooney said a border official told her because she had a prior visa revoked, she needed to go to a U.S. consulate to apply for legal status to work in the country again. She said the officer refused to allow her to go back to Mexico and ordered her to be detained. One issue border officers may have with Mooney's previous U.S. employment is that one drink, Holy Water, advertised on its website, contains Delta-9 full-spectrum hemp. The 2018 Farm Bill legalized hemp, including Delta-9 THC, if the product contained no more than 0.3% THC. Anything more is still considered controlled substance under federal law. So they won't tell Team 10 the reason for Mooney's detention, citing privacy reasons, but the agency routinely denies travelers from entering the country on 60 different grounds. I completely disagree with the Canadian position right now. I think you can speak out and put pressure on this. I think you can put political pressure on it. The Americans would if it was in a similar situation. The agency notes it treats all travelers with integrity, respect, and professionalism. Yeah, like the having your lights on 24 hours a day and having to sleep in a fucking tinfoil blanket is a sign of being respected. Mooney disagrees. Of course she does. She's correct. Mooney's correct. I was put in a cell and I had to sleep on a mat with no blanket, no pillow, and aluminum foil wrapped over my body. She said the food's terrible. We're up for 24 hours wrapped in chains. This is how people get treated, Jasmine. This is how people get treated. This is how people of color, people in America, this is what's coming to America. This is the fascism that's happening. You are now a victim of it. You've been targeted. You've been singled out, and now you have to suffer the consequences of some bizarre new policy in the United States, some bizarre new war between America and Canada that's developing. Terrible. Look at these are nice looking people. They're not obviously she's not a terrorist, okay? She's no idea when she'll be released. No one does. I just feel like there has to be more they can do. Feels than this. This can't be right. It can't be allowed to happen, Cora said from Vancouver. Yeah, I mean, welcome to the real world. And this is what happens is a lot of people have lived in, more or less middle class or Canadian comfort for a long time, first world comfort, and they don't believe this can happen to me. They don't understand the suffering that people go through every day. Everything's just a big, happy, positive thing. Just think positive, everything will be okay. And then suddenly you find out someday you are caught in the American detention system. So attorneys see spike in detention cases. I feel really helpless. We don't know what the next steps are. We don't even know the reason why they're holding her there. Says Coors. San Diego attorney Andrew Nader says there's been an anecdotal increase. Many of the detentions are for reasons that up until a couple months ago would not have resulted in the person's detention because CBP and ICE have many other options at their disposal. They do not need to detain people. They're doing this. It's punitive. They're doing it to punish people, to hurt people, to make people suffer. That's the goal. Is to cause maximum suffering on people. Every country or territory decides who can enter through there, said Global Affairs spokeswoman Brittany. You are a hunk of shit, Brittany Fletcher, Global Affairs Canada spokeswoman. Everyone put pressure on this. Write to Global Affairs Canada spokeswoman say, Brittany Fletcher, you can put pressure on them. The government of Canada can put pressure on them. We're having this trade war, this arguing right now. Oh, man. This is like German man visiting American fiance, jailed for 2 weeks. So look at this. It looks like this guy, Austin Grabish, is really on this story. This is from March 6th. ICE detains Lucas Sheloff, 25, said U.S. Customs put him and his American fiance in handcuffs after they tried to enter San Diego. His American fiance as well. They accused me of living in America instead of visiting, but there was no proof that I was overstayed, anything. He's been in a long-distance relationship with psychologist Dr. Lennon Tyler since 22. They met overseas. So he's with a psychologist, not some random person. Okay, so they got a nice relationship there, and they went to Tijuana, and he had they ripped my hair tie out. They did a body check. They make me open my mouth. They fingerprint me. I say, is this legal? Can I have a lawyer? They say, you don't have a right to have a lawyer. You're being detained in a secure building. Tyler, an American citizen, said when she asked to speak to a supervisor, tensions escalated. They take me over to a bench. They chain my ankle to a bench. Hours go by. I keep asking. They tell me to shut up, she said. They use fear and control, the confusion to control you. I'm a psychologist, and this is what's happening. She knows what's going on. It's like psychological game. You have to tell yourself every time to be strong and be calm. It's an experience nobody wants. As soon as Tyler said she got a frantic call from Seeloff, he sounded panicked. Baby, I need you right now. And I said, what do you need? He says, they called my name right now. I need you to book this flight. I'm grateful to be home, he said after getting off the plane. So he's finally home after this horrific ordeal. And this article came out on the 10th, okay? She expected her journey to be routine, having come to the U.S. on a B-2 tourist visa in 2022 and 2024 to through-hike the PCT and CDT, respectively. Upon reaching the U.S. passport control this time, she found herself detained, interrogated, and accused of intending to work illegally in the United States. This is on the Trek. This isn't a political site. This is a hiking site. This is a site for hikers and adventurers, right? So she was separated from her American boyfriend, shouted at, mocked by U.S. border officials, and detained in a cold, shared holding cell without access to medication. After 22 hours of incarceration, the hammer fell, having broken no laws and holding the same valid B-2 visa under which she previously hiked the PCT and CDT. She was deported back to Germany and handed a 5-year ban on re-entering the United States. That all on her birthday. Sounds like a total nightmare. And here's a lovely picture of this young couple, beautiful looking people, Annika and her boyfriend Ryan, finishing up their Sobo CDT hike. Maybe it's supposed to say, yeah, okay. Land of Enchantment. There they are. Beautiful looking people. She threatened me, insisting to tell the truth. They would find out anything everywhere, anyway. That's the kind of stuff they do, right? They put maximum pressure on you. The interrogation, it's to make you say anything to make it stop. And, of course, people get caught in that and they make mistakes. And when you don't have a lawyer to protect you or defend you or to speak out on your behalf, you might find yourself held without basic necessities. I was utterly exhausted, she says. The water fountain was out of order, so she purchased a bottle of water from a vending machine, was interrogated a third time, fingerprinted, photographed, asked about her health status and medication. The officer then delivered the verdict. Her visa had been annulled. She was banned from entering the United States for 5 years. So that's the end of their relationship. Her baggage was searched. The officers mocked my medication, saying it's like a hospital, and tossed my belongings around. All my personal items were confiscated, including my shoelaces, glasses, watch, and hoodie because it had drawstrings. I was allowed to keep my down jacket and a small blanket I had with my Lufthansa flight. She searched against a wall, placed in a holding cell with the young Spanish traveler. Though not a hiker, she told Ananias that she had encountered similar accusations in her interrogation. So derogatory, degrading, arbitrary, deeply concerning. Just some of the examples on what she's saying about this afterwards. And it's a very large article, so I'm not going to take the time to go through this completely, but here's an important aspect: fear and shock in the international hiking community, right? In the PCT Germany Facebook page, what are people saying? They're just saying this isn't a good idea to go there now, right? So foreign hikers bring money and fresh perspective to trail towns. I'm telling you, don't go visiting in the United States. You want to go for a nice canoe ride down the Grand Canyon or go for a hike on the great, the Appalachian Trail or something like that. You're literally risking your security. You could end up like Jasmine. You could end up for weeks, months, years caught. You could end up in Guantanamo fucking Bay. And I'm telling you, if you're a person who's a minority or a person who's a visibly someone who is often subject to bigotry, the gay community, for example, you're taking your life in your own hands to go there now. I think you're putting yourself at great risk. But also, if you've been politically outspoken, I have my criminal record is from activism. You think I should cross that border right now? Now, maybe it's been over 20 years since I was arrested at a protest. That doesn't matter. So I'm telling you, if you've been outspoken, you got to make sure that you're going somewhere else for your vacation this year. So I'm hoping we find more information on this story as more is known. We hope that Jasmine can come home very soon. Very, very, very scared of you. Very scared of you. Alexis Eagles of Abbotsford said that her daughter entered San Ysidro and was handed over a case. So I don't think there's anything that we haven't actually covered here in this article. No, it doesn't seem like it. So, just hoping that Jasmine can come home real safely. If you can, take time to send a message to your local MPs and demand that something is said, something is done, that I don't care if they think that, every country can make their own rules. No, you got a Canadian being treated unfairly. You speak out. You speak out. You do the right goddamn thing. If you're the Liberal Party, if you care about people like you say you do the right goddamn thing. You're up there bragging, Carney, that you care about people. The Liberal Party brags they care about people, and sometimes it's shown that they do. Sometimes, though, it seems like empty fucking mouth flapping. All right, everybody. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Keep on coming back. Thanks very much. And we'll be back tonight, if nothing else, with the Meteorological Report. Okay, everybody. Bye now.